What is going on, everybody? This is Justin Martinez, aka Jada Sports Dude, coming to you all live from my apartment. Hopefully, you all are staying at your homes as well, practicing social distancing and staying safe during this pandemic. And I'm here to provide y'all with a little bit of extra entertainment. That's right, it is time for New Mexico State versus Colorado State. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Justin, you missed a couple games. They played Arizona. They played New Mexico at home. I know, guys. Now, the problem is we can't do all of these games. For one, with Arizona, they are a part of the Pac-12, and the Pac-12 is notorious for claiming videos for copyright. That's why I couldn't even find it here on YouTube. I'd actually get them from somebody else. However, it's just not worth it because I don't want to get claimed for copyright, and above anything else, I don't want to get a copyright strike, which might happen. So we're not able to look at that one or the Washington State game, since that is also a Pac-12 matchup. And then for UNM, there's just nothing there. There's just no video on YouTube. Couldn't find it on Aggie Alert or 24/7 Sports. It's unfortunate. I know, even though the Aggies did lose, it was a one-point game, a really, really exciting matchup, and I would have loved to have watched it. It's not that I don't want to see them lose to their rivals. We already watched them lose to UTEP, so I don't want to hear any of that. It's just that we couldn't find the video, so it is what it is. And that takes us to the first game of the Cayman Islands Classic, which shows a matchup against Colorado State. Now, obviously, I didn't get to go to this game. I really wish that I would have, because, you know, your boy needs a vacation every now and then. But unfortunately, I was watching this on the live stream just like the rest of y'all, unless you were fortunate enough to make the trip out there. And I do remember a good amount of this. I remember that it was a very good game. I've had people say no spoiler alert, so I won't say the final score just in case you guys don't remember it. But this was a very good game, and I'm looking forward to watching it. And this is going to be part, as I said, of our month-long journey. We're watching every single game from New Mexico State this past season, every night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time here on our YouTube channel. So if you like this content, please, guys, leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notification bells so you can get notified every time that we go live. And then also you can check out a bunch of other content that we have. We have Stray Shooter, which is a weekly web series with players where we break down film, answer fan questions, and a whole bunch of other stuff. That's every Wednesday at 11 a.m. We're also posting press conferences, Zoom interviews with a team, all kinds of stuff, even a little bit of baseball coverage. We'll start getting some football coverage as well. Jason Groves, our sports editor, will start contributing to it. So a lot of great stuff, guys. But that is enough plugging. Let me go ahead and just upload the title, because I actually figured out how to do that on my mobile phone. So we're going to be doing that right now. Give me 1 second. Let me just name it, New Mexico State versus Colorado State. Let's get this real quick. Versus Colorado State. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we are good to go. Awesome. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hope everybody is doing well, staying safe. Without any further ado, let's get into this game. And also, I know you can see on the screen right now, this is the starting point of the video. This is the first possession, so you're not missing anything. You're only missing the jump ball. For some reason, this video doesn't include it, but obviously Colorado State won. And I think the scoreboard is going to be a little wacky for the first couple minutes, but just bear with us here. Now, I do have this on mute because you guys like to hear my commentary above the commentators that were at this game. I just wasn't able to find a good balance between the two where you could hear both of us talking, so I went ahead and I muted it. Turnover there, and we have Aggie's ball, and we are underway, folks. Now again, I know it says there's 1:06 left in the first half, but I guarantee you it was not scoreless up until that point. They're going to fix that in a little bit here. But anyways, we got Sean Buchanan with the basketball here, and we are getting started. Got Trev with the ball here, 11 on the shot clock. Again, this is one of the games where I actually do remember a decent amount. Oh, we got a little glitch there. Terrell pulling up, no good. The things that I do remember that really stand out to me was Jabari Rice had a huge game. I think this is another one of Sean Williams' good performances too. So I've been looking forward to watching this one. Trev, pull up, got it. Deep range three. And the Aggies are already up. I don't believe it's actually 5-0. I think it's 3. I think the scoreboard is still wonky. Or it might not be. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Alright, we got Caravaggio down low. This is one of the guys that I scouted. Also, this guy's name is Isaiah something. I'm blanking on his name. But I remember he came out on fire in this one. Let me pull up the box score. Because I remember that point guard, Isaiah, and Caravaggio down low, their center, were the two guys that I was really focusing on when I was doing my research for this game. Caravaggio pretty much just a double-double machine. No range, but is just a good power big man down low. Let's pull up this here box score. Isaiah Stevens is the guy that I was thinking about in this one. He's a younger guy too. I want to say he was an underclassman. And Nico Caravaggio. Tough take there by Sean. You just love to see Sean get hyped every time he scores. Let's go, he's saying. Appreciate y'all for tuning in live, or if you're going back and watching this, I appreciate it either way, guys. Like I said, we've been getting some really good feedback on this, so it means a lot that you guys are tuning in for this. And I'm sure y'all aren't too disappointed that we're not watching the Arizona or the UNM game, since they were both losses. Because that's a nice backdoor cut by CJ, and I believe that was Yvonne who found him. CJ still in the starting lineup here. I want to say Johnny started to take over the starting lineup either towards the end of this tournament or right when they got out of it. Somewhere around there. Another one by Stevens. Got it to go. Dangerous. Dangerous guy. I think he had like the first 8 or 9 points for them in this game. Foul on the floor. Yeah, I really wish that I could have been at this one, guys, but just was not in the newspaper budget to send me out to the Cayman Islands, unfortunately. That would have been nice. I was joking with the team, with Coach Jans and with their SID and Mario Mocha, the AD. I was like, hey, you guys can just, sneak me in on the plane, store me with the luggage. I don't care, man. Would have loved to have gone to this. But oh well. Got Yvonne, a little turnaround. We barely grazed rim, if that. Stepped out of bounds. Tough. Yeah, there were some good teams here in this tournament. You see Washington State, who the Aggies eventually did play, but not in this tournament. George Mason, pretty underrated team. Obviously, I wanted to go because it was at the Cayman Islands, but like if it were anywhere else, I still would have wanted to go. This was all really good competition. As a tough little floater by Trev gets it to fall. – 11-6 Aggies in this one. That's a good rip. Look at that. Let's take another look at that one. See where he came from. Look where. I'm going forward. Oh wait, did I go all the way to the? My bad, guys. My bad. I don't know why I went all the way to the beginning. I'm trying to find where it was. Alright, here we go. Yeah, he read that the whole way. Good defensive play there by Trev. And it is 13-6. I like how they're actually cutting out all these little in between parts of the game during the stoppages. I like that. Because for those who were with us last night, we sat here for 2 hours to watch that Southern game. Which, hey, I like watching basketball, but 2 hours is a bit much to just be sitting down in one place and primarily talking to myself. We got 04 NM Aggie. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. He says this was a good one. Went into OT. No spoilers, man. No, I'm kidding. They ended up beating UNM in their conference play, which was nice for ranking since Lubes swept the Aggies last season. Yeah, this was a good one. As you see Sean Williams hitting that three. I remember he had a big game in this one too. Yeah, this was a good win for New Mexico State, especially because when it comes to non-conference play, as you see the step back there by Stevens, can't get the drop. Especially when it comes to conference play, they're not real resume boosters for New Mexico State. They pretty much have to go undefeated or maybe only lose one game for it to be considered, I guess, impressive or a real plus on their resume. The way they really help out with their seeding is when they win games like these, games against Mississippi State, Washington State, Arizona, those sorts of games are the ones that are going to really help them out in terms of seeding. So this was a good win for New Mexico State for sure. So we got 16-8. It's a beautiful find there by Jabari. Sees the big man creeping up, the defender, and just drops it down to Will. Easy bucket. Going the other way. I want to say here in the Cayman Islands Classic is when Johnny really started to shoot a little bit more three-point shots as well. I think he had made only 2 going into this tournament, and he made more than that in just these 3 games. So yeah, I think this was really big for him. I think the tournament in general was very big. Obviously, as you guys know, they didn't end up winning the tournament. They ended up losing the championship. But from what the team said, it felt like, or they felt, as if they really started to figure things out with the rotations and all that kind of stuff. Started to put it together. And it's a good opportunity because, it's 3 games in 3 days. Very similar to what you'd see, or exactly the same as what you'd see at WAC Vegas, NCAA tournament, that kind of stuff. This is a good chance to get a feel for that format. Jabari slicing and dicing. Gets it down to Will. Someone's going to have to pull up. There's Sean. No good. It's a good find. You call out of bounds? I didn't see what that was. Again, I don't have the volume on just because when I do, it's very hard for y'all to hear what I'm saying. So I apologize if I seem a little clueless at times, but obviously this was months ago and I don't remember everything, so there's going to be a couple moments where I'm a little confused. And I don't go back and watch these games in their entirety. Johnny, top of the arc. I think he got this one. Yep. Yes, sir. So important, as I've said, just for spacing purposes. And yeah, this tournament, I think he really started to just get his confidence back. Because I'm not going to say he added this shot to his repertoire during this tournament, because he was a shooter at Oñate. He was hitting 3-point shots in high school. But for some reason, I talked to him about it. I forget what the quote was exactly. But pretty much he just said that, it just fell out of his repertoire, his game when he got to New Mexico State. He wasn't as confident pulling it from deep, but you could see he got a lot more confident this season. They called the travel? Okay, appreciate it. Jabari driving, foul, tough foul too. Bounces back up though. So we got Jabari getting ready to go to the line here. Aggie's in control early, 21-10. I think that's pretty cool. It looks like there's some a bunch of schools in the stands. Looks like, I guess, local elementary or middle schools getting to attend. That's pretty cool. Everybody in the seats right under their basket, they're all in vacation shirts and everything, living their best lives. I wonder if they traveled for this or if they just happened to be at the Cayman Islands. They're like, oh yeah, I'll go catch some college basketball here. So we got a foul here on Johnny, I believe. Or Yvonne, I mean. Yeah, Carvacho is a problem down low. I remember, like I said, he's a double-double machine. He's averaging double-digit points and rebounds. Heading into this game, I don't know if he ended up doing that at the end of the year. 0-4 NM Aggie. Jabari went off in this game, if I remember. This is when buzz started around Rice being most improved. Yeah, definitely. I remember he really carried them down the stretch of the second half and then in overtime as well. Because he had a good game against, Western New Mexico to start the season. But again, it's Western New Mexico. Sean Williams hits his second three, by the way. This is another good game for him. And he also had I think a game that a lot of people forgot about. He played really well against Arizona. A lot of his points were in garbage time, but I think he did end up leading the team in scoring against, obviously, really good competition against Arizona. But you're right, this was definitely the first one where it wasn't against a not-so-great team. It wasn't in garbage time. It was, key moment in the game, and he delivered multiple times. So, yeah, I think this one really got people's attention. And definitely, had there been a most improved award in the WAC, it would have gone to Jabari without a doubt. So we got Stevens, I think, in the corner cashing in. Yep. His third three, I think, already. Had 9 early points. Not really much of a three-point shooter when I was doing film on him. He was somebody who liked to get to the rim. He was primarily a passer. But the Aggies, I guess he was in their blind spot. He got a couple open looks early on and cashed in. Again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hope everybody's doing well, staying safe. We got a foul here. Or excuse me, a travel, I guess. Let's see it. There's a Stevens dribble. Yeah, I mean, just wide open. No excuses for that one. A little update on Stray Shooter. I went ahead and I reached out to the SID, trying to set something up with William McNair. And he is trying to get in contact with him right now, so hopefully we'll be able to get something set up. It is Thursday, and I just need to hear from him before this upcoming Tuesday, so it should be plenty of time. That's normally when I reach out to the SID. So that looks to be the plan, is to have William McNair be our guest, our star of the show for episode 6 of Stray Shooter. Crazy, we're already on 6. It's been a blast though. I want to say Yvonne hit a 3-point shot at some point during this tournament. I feel like I remember that. He only had about 3 all season. Oh, is this it? Got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remembered it at the top of the key. I didn't remember which game it was. But that's funny, because I remember that's something I was talking to him about. 04NM Aggie says, how are the rivalry matchups looking for next season? Have you been keeping up with UTEP/UNM recruiting? I haven't really been keeping up with who they gained, to be quite honest with you. I have been keeping up with who they lost. I know the Miners lost a lot of guys. They lost Jordan Lathan, specifically, who was their starting point guard, who really played well against the Aggies. I know that they lost Caden Archie, who I thought was one of their better up-and-coming players. Somebody who was pretty highly recruited out of college. I forget where he transferred from to get to UTEP, but he was a promising prospect. They are bringing back Bryson Williams, which is going to be big because he's a key part of their offense, obviously. And I believe F.A. ODG, I believe, is also coming back. So I know that much about UTEP. To be honest with UNM, I really have not been keeping up too much. Obviously, I know that they lost guys like Carlton Bragg, who got kicked off the team last season. I know that they lost. I shouldn't be blanking on his name, but he's their point guard, who's their leading scorer. He's entering graduation. But yeah, to be honest with you, I haven't looked too much into who's coming in for them. It's going to bother me that I can't think of UNM starting point guards' names. Like, I really should know his name. It's actually really bothering me. I'm looking it up right now. Jaquan Lyle. There we go. Yeah, Jaquan Lyle. I believe J.J. Caldwell. And Vance Jackson is also gone. And I think J.J. Caldwell is too. So, yeah, a lot of moving pieces. Stephen M., any news on Jaquan Scott? I don't have any news, man. I do not. When I have news, I will start off the stream by saying it. I'll make sure to put it all over social media, but unfortunately, still waiting. Still waiting. Like I said, until he decides, it's just a matter of trying to, turning on post notifications, being ready for whenever he does announce it. The person who he has been talking to a lot is CBS Sports' John Rothstein. So if there were to be any early news, it would be going to him instead of me. It's just the way it is because he's got a bigger platform. So I'm really just left waiting, unfortunately. Usually with big names like that, that's just the way it goes. They're going to hit up John Rothstein. They're going to hit up Goodman before they give any early scoop or anything like that to the Sun News reporter. Appreciate you for tuning in, though, Stephen, as always. You got a nice little find there to CJ. $34-19. New Mexico State. I feel like I remember Colorado State cutting into this before halftime. I don't remember though. So we got Sean going to work down low, kicks it out to Trev. Back to him, and they can call a push off. Yeah. Pretty easy call there. Johnny trying to get a little separation on Stevens. Yeah, I mean, that's a call they're going to make every time. I wouldn't even say that's too much acting on Stevens' part. Johnny's a pretty strong dude. I'd probably fall back or like fly even further. So you got Aggies going back the other way. Turnover there. We got Roddy driving, and I believe that's his first bucket as a Ram. I think this guy was an incoming freshman or true freshman. I mean, redshirt freshman. We got the free throw up, got it to go. I forget what I predicted. You know what I should be doing is I should be going back, because before every game what I would do is I would predict the score for every game, but I never really looked back afterwards to see how close I was. So I think I'm going to do that during these live streams. Once we find out the final score, we'll go back and see if I was completely off or not. I know I picked New Mexico State for this one, but I don't know the score. Hoffman says 21 turn into a beast for CSU in conference play. What was 21? That was David Roddy. Yeah, he did. I mean, you can just see he is a strong guard. A lot of muscle to him. I know he really thrived driving to the rim. Not much of a three-point shooter, but I think he hit one in this game, I want to say. And a young guy. As you can see, going to the rack. That's a good charge call there. CJ forces the turnover. Yeah. Not one of the easier calls. Obviously, they're looking for if he pushed out and extended that arm. CJ gets the call on that one. Ooh. Just a little bit off, but that's a good call to try to find him down low there. You see, I love this. They are cutting out all of these little parts in between. For the most part, we still got a little bit of it here. Probably just because the commentator's speaking right now. There we go. Little floater in the lane by Sean. Like I said, we should be hearing a little bit more about New Mexico State's 2020-2021 schedule sometime this week. Since it is already Thursday, it should be, any day now. I would guess tomorrow, maybe Saturday. I don't know how many games we're going to find out got scheduled as we get an and one there. I don't anticipate for it to be the whole season schedule coming out like what we've seen with UNM. But I have been told that we'll get a little bit more clarity on some teams that New Mexico State is playing this upcoming season. Right now, all we know that's been set is the UNM series, which I'll have to go and pull up the date right now. And then Santa Clara, which is going to be on December 23rd. I want to say in Vegas, in a neutral setting. 04NM Aggie, since you're not a local, what's your favorite restaurant in Las Cruces so far? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'll probably say Si Senor. I'll probably say that. And even though this one isn't local to just Las Cruces, I've never been to a Blake's Lotta Burgers, and I've really liked that so far, which I know doesn't count as local food. So for that, I'm saying Si Senor. But like the place that I really go to a lot, that I've never lived near one, is Blake's for sure. 04 Maggie says, nice, I hope we get the Zags, Duke, and UNC. Yeah, I mean, New Mexico State definitely has to be pretty aggressive when it selects its non-conference schedules, its non-conference matchups. Like I said, just because that's really what allows them to climb up the seeding in the NCAA tournament. Going undefeated in the WAC will get you an automatic bid, but it won't get you, an 11, a 10 seed, something like that. I think New Mexico State probably would have ended up at around 13 had they had the NCAA tournament this past year. You definitely need to get a couple of these really resume-boosting wins, and that comes in non-conference play. So, we'll see what they can get. We shall see. It's down to a 9-point game. With 2:15 left until halftime. How long is this video? It's about an hour 30. A lot shorter than the 2-hour one we were watching yesterday. I don't know how many really long videos we're going to have throughout this season. I haven't gone and looked at it. I'm kind of just taking it game by game. And then we do have all of the Cayman Islands Classic games available to watch on YouTube. So after this, tomorrow, we'll watch the South Florida game, which was a pretty decent game. Wasn't the closest, but it's a decent one. $15 on the shot clock here. Get it to Trev in the corner. Loose ball foul on Yvonne. Yeah, him and Nico were battling the whole afternoon. I think this game was pretty early in the day. I want to say. I think it was at like 10 or something like that, our time, Mountain Time. Something like that. I might be wrong. But I remember I had family here in Cruces during the tournament, and they wanted to go out and do all this kind of stuff, and I was like, guys, I gotta watch this game and write the article. And then once you write the article, you have to write the preview article for the next team that they face, and it has to be also getting in time for print. It's like really all 3 of these days it was just non-stop basketball coverage. As soon as the game's over, I'm going back and I'm watching film. I had to watch. Oh, that's a nice block. Are they calling a goaltending? Don't do it. That's too nice of a play. Can I see that one more time? I think it was goaltending. Yeah. Yeah, but even like after this, I was watching what was it? South Florida played, I think they played Old Dominion, I want to say. I don't remember which one it was, but like I had to watch the game afterwards also in order to, kind of scout who New Mexico State would play next. So yeah, these 3 days were very busy. The WAC tournament would have been just as hectic, honestly. 04 NM Aggie. Well, we got Sham the 3. No good. 04 NM Aggie. Jan's game plan against Nico pretty well. He wasn't as effective as he typically is against other teams. Yeah, and I think Yvonne is a pretty good matchup. He's giving up size, obviously, but that's never seemed to really bother Yvonne. He kind of looks forward to these matchups. But yeah, they were bringing in a lot of help defense, trying to keep him out of the paint. Let's see what his box score is. He went 6 for 10, but got 6 points at the free throw line. So I think that's where he really made his stat line good. Was at the free throw line. Dangerous though, and Yvonne kept him off the glass too. I don't think he got double-digit boards in this one. Because these two teams had played last season, the season prior, and the Aggies won. I'm pretty sure it was convincingly too, but Nico did have a really good game. So we got a 34-29 contest. So we got Johnny on him now. We can't get it to fall, just hangs on the rim. That's wide open. Oh, kicks it out. Interesting. Probably had a good shot there. It's a decent load, but that's off. Yeah, again, Terrell's still dealing with injuries here. I think he really struggled in this tournament, I remember. But he does draw a charge there. The Aggies in general are really good at drawing charges. Like Sham Buchanan, Evan Gilliard, Terrell Brown. Just steps in. Guy couldn't quite avoid him. Yeah, I think Terrell really had to do that right there because I think you're going to take your chances. What are the odds? You actually stopping Nico in the paint or drawing this charge? I think Terrell made the right choice. Just take a risk. Try to take the charge because there's no way you're stopping Nico if he gets the ball. It's a heads-up play by Terrell there. I also think Nico struggled against guys like Johnny because, you know, Nico's not the best when it comes to perimeter defense going outside of the paint. And as you can see there, Johnny just too mobile, too quick. Good footwork and a finish. Like we said, Yvonne even hit a 3 in this game, so they were really trying to stretch him out and force him outside the paint because he is a good rim protector. They just did a good job of getting him out of his comfort zone, pretty much. As you were alluding to, 04 and a Maggie. Ooh, awkward shot. Step back and then one leg, but gets it to drop. That's just nice touch. Good hustle there by Johnny, and I think it's going the other way. Yeah, Stevens did a really good job of just penetrating this whole game too. And number 1, I forget his name. Those are their top 2 guards. Because I want to say Stevens was leading them in assists the whole season. Chris Martin is that guy who just had that assist there. But yeah, Stevens had 4 dimes in this one. Let's see, what year is Stevens? I want to say he was like a sophomore. True freshman out of Allen, Texas. Yeah. Yeah, he played really well. And I think Roddy was a true freshman also, right? Yep. Out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, yeah, they got two really good guards coming back. Roddy can play the 2 or the 3s at 6'5", 250. A 6'5" guard at 250. That guy has some muscle to him, man. Yeah, he had a solid game in this one, but picked it up a little bit more in conference play. It's now 40-34. Yvonne drawing a double. Sloppy pass. Easy bucket. Like I said, hopefully everybody's doing well. Having a great day so far. Got the weekend coming up. Honestly, it doesn't feel like the weekend's coming up anymore. Nowadays, just every day kind of blurs together. Wide open for Terrell. Yeah, he was struggling. Getting no elevation on his shot due to that injury. His burst of speed just wasn't the same. But you got to remember, at this time, Jabari hadn't really broken out yet. I mean, he did after this game. But other than that, the Aggies really didn't have a whole lot of depth at that guard spot. Evans still wasn't eligible yet. It was really just Sean Williams having to run some backup point guard and shooting guard, which is also a much bigger role than I think he anticipated when he came in, because he had just finished, or he just transferred in here from Eastern Carolina, and all of a sudden he's thrown into a pretty key role off the bench. So it was a tough situation for a lot of guys on the team early on this season at this point. Little floater by Sean, no good. Rams have it down to a 4-point deficit. Feeding them down low. Too big, too strong. Yep, it's a good move from the big fella. Cuts it down to 2 points, possibly 1, if he makes this free throw. Which I don't think he did. I think he was 6 for 12 from the line in this game. He was around like 50%. See us up. Ooh, got a nice arch on that. Stephen M, any news on Sean Buchanan being a GA next season? There's no news on anything with Sean. Although his plan still seems to be getting into coaching in some way now. I don't think he's looking to continue his career right now, his playing career. That's just what Jans has said. I haven't talked to Sean directly, but he had said that Jans has said, that was his aspiration, possibly immediately after graduating. So we got Williams to 3, but yeah, I don't expect to hear anything too soon on that. Looks like Sean is really involved with the peaceful protesting and all this going on right now. It looks like that seems to be sort of where his mindset is at. I don't know if he's looking into career opportunities right now, which, good for him, man. I've been seeing him a lot on Twitter, really using his platform for a good cause, so that's good to see. Nico gets to the line again. Yeah, Johnny got caught in a tough spot there. Had his back to him. It's just real easy for Nico to lean in and get the free throw. Look, yeah, there's nothing Johnny can do there. Can't get it to fall. Second one, no good. Jabari been pretty quiet up until this point. Oh, that's just a mistake on Sean's part. Yeah, Jabari really didn't turn it on until the game was on the line, but I mean, that's when it matters most. I don't know how many points he has up until at this moment right now, but it's can be more than a couple buckets. Ooh. Looks like Trev's going to the line. Foul on Roddy there, I believe. I think the ref was going 2-1. I saw, I don't know when it was during the tournament, but at some point when the Aggies had some free time, I think it was actually the day after the tournament ended, because they played George Mason and then they actually stayed another full day before flying back. I think it was that day, but they went out on a boat, and apparently I think they took some tour where they get to see stingrays or something. And CJ was talking about how he kissed the stingray for good luck, which apparently is a thing. I didn't know it was a thing. But yeah, that was something that I talked to CJ about. I don't know why that just came to my mind right now, but that was a pretty funny moment. And this trip definitely brought the team closer. I remember that's what all of them were telling me. Trev, one dribble, pull up, no good. Will fighting for the board. Looks like he'll get called for a loose ball foul there. It's good hustle though, on Will's part. Yeah, got some contact there. Roddy, big body Roddy. That's his new nickname now, Big Body Roddy. That is a guard out muscling CJ Bobbitt down low. I don't know if Roddy would appreciate that that nickname or not. Okay, that was a little uncalled for to just swat it like that. Number 0. Look at this, man. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. True freshman entering his sophomore year. Should I fast forward this kind of stuff? It's a short video anyways. I'm kind of just want to let it ride. I don't know. 48 to 43. 3-pointer. Got it to go. I think that's his only one from this game. Not known for that shot. But he knocked that one down. That's an open look. So you got a reach in foul there. Yes, sir. Like I said, guys, I just reached out to the SID today. Oh, Terrell, 3-ball. Can't get it to fall. Reach out to the SID today. It looks like I am going to be able to talk to William McNair. So right now, that is the plan for him to be the guest for Straight Shooter this upcoming Wednesday. Looking forward to that one. I got to interview him for Straight Shooter, the podcast during the season. But I think it's the only time I talked to him all year, honestly. Like, on the record, you know, interview-wise. But super polite guy, as everybody is on the team. Really soft-spoken. But, like I said, looking for him to be a little bit more aggressive this upcoming season as Nico gets the wide-open dunk. He only made 6 shots this game, and I think 3 of them we've already seen so far are just wide-open dunks. Just simple mistake there. Yeah, I mean, Yvonne kind of has to pick him up at this point once Jabari gets beat. It's a tough spot. Can't guard both of them. Gonna find him again? No, he's gonna take it for himself, but it's a travel. Can you see that one more time? He does not believe it was a travel. I guess no replay. Yeah, his coaching staff doesn't think it was a travel either. It's a tie game here. Aggies had not trailed at all up until this point. Got off to an early 5-0 lead. Ooh. They're saying it's tips, so not backcourt, but they get the steal. And the hustle by Sean, getting back. Forcing a turnover. It looks like he got a steal and it bounced off of Martin there. See that one more time. Great hustle by Sean. He's just one of those guys on the team. He's going to hit the deck with no hesitation. Alright, let's skip past this part. You guys know the drill. It was a long timeout. There we go. .48-48. Yeah, this is one of the better games all season for sure. And won by CJ. Strong take. Yes, sir. Got it to go. Yeah, it really wasn't a knock on CJ for Johnny to get the starting spot over him. I think Johnny just really emerged as one of the standout players on the team as opposed to CJ not playing too well, you know? I mean, his percentages definitely could have been better, but I think it was more so just how much Johnny improved throughout the season. Nico backing him down. Good help there by Sean every now and then. Trying to get the rip, but it's still a bucket. 51-50. Right around now, we should be seeing Jabari start to pick it up, I think. Really took over down the stretch. Oh, Mitty got it. Yes, sir. Back-to-back buckets for CJ. I think he finished with around 9 points in this game. One of his better scoring performances. So we got a guy down here. And that is Nico. I think he just got hit in the face or something. Oh, no, it's his knee. He came back though, right? I don't remember this injury. Yeah. He came back for sure. Let's see. Yeah, just came up a little hobbled. .53-50 with 6:27 left. Jabari, there we go. Let's get going. Let's get it started. I think that's what got him going here. Right wing three, cash money. 56-50 now. Okay, good defensive play there. Gets beat on the screen, but he can't cash in. Good hustle to save the ball there. You got to take that. You got Stevens on you. Ooh. It's a good find. Can't get it though. Johnny, yes sir. Yes sir. Look at the elevation by Sean on this celebration here. Watch Sean here. Showing off the hops. That's funny. Sean actually has hops. I'm not making fun of him. He has hops. If you guys follow some of my pregame stuff, this guy pulls off some pretty nasty dunks. I recommend going back and finding it out on my Twitter. But that was funny right there. $58 to $50 now. I should be fast forwarding this. My bad. First one's up. Can't get the and one. Still an 8-point game. I want to say the Aggies had a pretty decent lead with like a minute and a half left. And I think they just had some turnovers that led to buckets to force OT. I think. Driving. No good. CJ. Calling the jump. Yeah, that's the right call. He got tied up there. Which I think goes Colorado State's way, right? Now stays in New Mexico State. Little midi. No good. Going the other way. .25 left. Again, appreciate everybody for tuning in to watch this with me. This is one of the better games. Good hustle there by Trav, even though he can't get it. Or did he call timeout? He did, right? He called timeout. Wow. You couldn't see that because the scorer's table, and I didn't remember it. Wow. Wow. You want to talk about just high basketball IQ, man. And again, I don't want to just seem like I'm a fanboy or anything like that. I know it seems like every single game I bring up something that Trev does, but honestly, he does everything for this team. There's so many of the little things that just don't show up in the box score. Super, super well-rounded. And that's just a heads-up play. I didn't even see that because of the scorer's table. Stephen M., will the Aggies be a preseason top 25 pick? I don't think so. I don't. They didn't make the top 25 when they were at their best last season, and I think with all the moving pieces, and we still might not know for sure which of the incoming transfers are going to be eligible or not. I don't see them being top 25. So you got Nico with the and one. At least not preseason. I'm not saying I don't think they can be a top 25 team, you know. They get some of these guys eligible, get a couple early wins. Again, I don't know who they're playing yet for their non-conference, but if they can get some early resume wins, I don't see why they can't at least get some votes like what they were doing towards the end of the last season. 04 and Aggie, maybe if that 4-star signs on. I believe you're talking about Jaquan. Yeah, and I mean, even if he doesn't, if they have 4 stars that they're waiting to see if they'll be eligible or not, you know? Like, they have a lot of impactful guys just with question marks on them as of right now. But definitely Jaquan would would push the needle. Johnny the putback. A lot of offensive rebounds down the stretch by New Mexico State. That's what's really standing out to me here. Second and third opportunities. Trev getting that steal and calling timeout. It's a lot of hustle plays down the stretch. Stevens, that's a great move right there. Sean has to go up and contest it because he's been knocking down threes the whole game. But you can't jump. You can't leave your feet. Stevens just hits him with the pump. One quick step and gets the bucket. Five-point game here. Stays with the Aggies with 2:17 left. Yeah. Lane was way too clogged up to get that backdoor pass. He was going for Jabari there. $60-55. I think they're feeding Nico. Gotta help. Yeah, Jabari has to come in and help. Yeah. Gets called for it. But he had the help there. Nico had that matchup for sure. And I mean, worst case, he gets free throws and not the best free throw shooter, so I think that was a calculated risk there by Jabari. So 1-1, he will get it to fall. Clutch shot there. I believe this was the first game of the tournament. So this was quite a way to start off the tournament. Like I said, I'll go back afterwards and see what I predicted for the final score. I think I had it as a pretty close game. I want to say I had the Aggies by about maybe like 5 or 6, something like that. Double dribble. Colorado State gets the ball back, down 4 with 1:33. Yeah, right around now I was stressing with my article because these are the ones where you really don't know how to write it until the game is absolutely over because you don't know who's going to win. And I like to start all of my articles with like a really game-defining play, which would have been like a play right around now. So until it happens, I can't write it. So I didn't have a whole lot written up yet at this point. Luckily, it went to overtime. Bought me a little bit more time to write it. Because if not, I would have been in a tough position for sure. We got Trev with the 3, no good. Yeah, up 4 with 50 seconds left. Goes to Colorado State. Stevens inbounding. I'm guessing they're going to find Nico here, down low. Wow. He'll get free throws out of it. Beautiful pass to Martin. It's as good of a pass as you can make there. And he'll get a pair of freebies, which I'm guessing he's knocking down both here. First one, yes sir. Got a little blackout screen there. Second one is up. Got it. Clutch free throws, and it's a timeout there, I believe. No? What do we got going on? No timeout. 2-point game with 40 seconds left. Jabari inbounding. How many minutes did Sean Buchanan play in this game? I feel like he's been on the court the entire game pretty much. Wild. Yeah, he really had to come in and do a lot more than I think he was used to at the start of this season. Now we get a timeout. Aggies up 2 with the ball. 25 seconds left. 15 on the shot clock in the opening round of the Cayman Islands Classic. 04 NM Aggie says, I remember watching this game from work because it was streamed around 11 or 12 in the middle of the day. Okay, that's what time it was. Yeah, I remember that being early too. Minimizing the window when people would walk by. That's funny. Hey, you got to do that sometimes, man. You got to do that. I remember when I was in college, I was watching all the March Madness games on my phone during class. Trev gonna have to put it up, and just not a great look, especially when you're coming out of a timeout. Just poor execution by the Aggies. And Roddy gets free throws to tie it here, I believe. All right, he has to tie it because it went to OT. Yeah. Coming out of a timeout, and that's the shot you get. Tough. Yeah, I mean, that's a foul by Trev. He got contact on him. So 3 seconds left. This is a true freshman shooting free throws. Ice in his veins, though. Big body Roddy at the line. Gets it. Couldn't be me, man. I would not make these free throws. I don't have it in me. Second one for the tie to send it to OT, most likely. Got it. Because the Aggies do have a timeout. In this situation, they actually did still have a chance to end it here. I'm just saying go into OT because we know the outcome right now looking back at this. But I was stressing, son. I was stressed out for this one. Because if they hit a game winner, like with the Jabari Rice thing at Utah Valley, which we'll talk more about when we go back and watch that game. If you hit a game winner, that's what I'm gonna write about for the intro of the story. And so until that happens, I pretty much just have like a couple minutes to write that up really quick. And like I've said before, I send my stories in for print literally 5 minutes after the game's over. So I was stressing right now, man. 04 NM Aggies. Seriously, though, about the scheduling, I bet Aggies play CSU again this season. I mean, it'd be their third year in a row, yeah. Maybe turn it into a little non-conference rivalry. Oh, they didn't get a half-court inbounds here. We got the full-court pass. Oof. Overtime, folks. Overtime. Yeah, I mean, Colorado State seems to be a winnable matchup for them year in and year out that usually turns out to be one of their better wins of the season. So, CSU's game, I don't see why the Aggies wouldn't be. But like I said, we will find out a little bit more about this upcoming season schedule sometime this week. That's just what I've been told, is that that's what the team is expecting. So it's not a guarantee, but the team is expecting to know more. And of course, as soon as I find out, I will let you guys know on my Twitter at JTheSportsDude. I'll write an article about it on our Facebook page, which is Las Cruces Sun U Sports. Yeah, so we'll be putting out plenty of coverage on any breaking news for New Mexico State, and of course that goes for transfer stuff also. So as soon as we find something out for Jaquan Scott, stuff will go out there. If we find out if AJ Harris is eligible or not, I'll spread the word. Trevor the floater. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff in the works right now, which is unfortunate because I know you guys want the answers. You want to know what the roster is going to look like, what the schedule is going to look like, but we just got to wait to see where all the chips fall. Johnny corner 3, no good. Nico, free throw. Does Sean have a tattoo on the inside of his arm? How have I never noticed that? Huh. I don't know why I've never noticed that before. Like right here. I've never seen that. It's interesting. I think he has some on his leg. I think I know those, but I never noticed that. I really would like to do a story on or maybe not even a story, but maybe just a video for our YouTube channel, like a tattoo breakdown, kind of just on players' tattoos and what they mean to them, the stories behind them. I think that might be pretty cool. Probably mostly for a video, because you got to see the tattoos and everything. But I think that will be best once this whole coronavirus thing is over, and we can actually meet up in person and get the cameras real close to them. Because right now, they'd probably be using their phones to show us stuff and wouldn't get all the details of it. But that might be a cool little thing to do throughout the season. 04 and Aggie, it's on the poster, the one where he's holding the ball over his shoulder. Oh, really? Okay, my bad. Yeah, I just didn't notice that. I didn't see what it was of. So we got Jabari at the line. And I believe he went off in this overtime period. So these are the free throws that started him off. Got him going. Gets the first one. But yeah, I think some tattoo tours, we could call it. I think that'd be pretty cool to do. Obviously, during the season, I'm going to be bringing you all a lot of articles, written content, but I still want to keep up some video content for y'all as well. So, just some extra little bonus stuff like that. The Straight Shooter podcast will now be video based. We'll post press conferences, the unedited version, so y'all can see that. We'll still have plenty of stuff here on this channel. Right now I'm just kind of trying to lay the groundwork for it. The only one posting stuff on this channel right now, but the plan is eventually to get everything monetized, you know, because there is a lot of money to be made on YouTube that I think we really need to start to capitalize on. And I feel like people are most likely to watch a video than read something nowadays. But I digress. We got CJ with the 3. No good. Jabari, the board. Got it. Flex on him. I remember that one. Yes, sir. All hustle. Look at that. 4th leading offensive rebounder on the team last season, Jabari Rice. As a guard. As a 6'4" guard. Attacks the glass so well. So important. To just take that pressure off the big men. Good stuff there. Johnny took a little hard fall there. 4-point game here with 2:22 left. Martin at the line, no good. Tough. So we got Roddy back in the game. So I guess these kids in the stands, well, I don't know what day of the week it was, but I'm assuming they're all from the school. I guess did they get to skip school for this? That's pretty cool. And they got to catch a good game. I'm assuming they probably stayed for the rest of them too that day. It was back to back to back to back. Jabari, corner 3. Corner pocket, got it. Yeah, he's heating up now. He's heating up. That's what? That's 7 straight, I think, for him, right? 2 free throws, put back into the corner pocket. Calm down, I got this. Taking over. This definitely was the game that really got people's attention, established himself. Also got the conversation going that maybe he should be starting over Terrell Brown, which he eventually did, you know, with Terrell being injured and not at full strength. Oh, it looks like it was Loyola who played next, because I think I see some players sitting down there. So then it was Loyola and George Mason, I think, was next. Maybe. I don't know. To be honest, I don't remember that. Good stuff there. Where's the Loyola in Nebraska? I couldn't tell you. 04 into Maggie, were they maybe playing at a high school? I mean, I guess it had to be, right? It had to be. Those kids just look really young, so I'm guessing they came from a middle school, but it might be. But yeah, this has to be a high school, right? So I don't think there's I don't know if there was a university in the area. Anyways, we got Yvonne at the line. Shooting a 1-and-1, and he gets it to fall. Yeah, definitely Loyola was playing next, so you can see all the fans already there in attendance. The distinct colors. We have somebody on our staff who graduated from there. Lived in Boston and then came over to, or then went to Chicago and then came here. Shout out to Michael Devitt, one of our political reporters. This is around the announcer started calling him Stephen Rice. Yeah, I remember that. I used that in my lead too. I'm pretty sure. I think I just started off by saying Jabari Rice was steaming. Yeah, I remember that. Steaming rice. He just kept saying, steamed rice. I brought that up to Jabari. I was like, is that too easy of a nickname? Do you not think that's cool? And he's like, yeah, I don't really mind it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, at that point he was steaming. Look at him. At that point he was cooking. And Sean draws the charge. Yes, sir. Look at this, man. Just off the dribble. Let me have this dance. He can't stop me. It's absolute takeover. Oh, he wanted the end one. He thought he could get it. He's got Roddy at the line here. Yeah, now at this point, I am typing away. Because I already know, like, I'm writing about Jabari going off in overtime. I think right around now is where I really just started writing the article. Like, the lead, I mean. Obviously, I wrote, like, what happened in the first half in overtime. But yeah, this is where I really started to go into scramble mode. Let me start pulling up the article and the preview article, all that kind of stuff. Free throw's no good. (72-64). 40 seconds left. Aggies in the driver's seat. Sean breaks the press. No fouls. Leads to Jabari. Wow. That's pretty wild. Stevens hangs in the air. Hits the and one. Yeah, I want to say he was the second leading scorer on the team in this game. Alright, so I got the recap article pulled up. I'm trying to find the preview article. That's going to be tough. It's so hard to search our older stuff on our site. I really wish we could change that. Make it easier. You got the final few seconds. Sean Williams getting to the line here. It is all but over at this point, folks. Apologies if somebody's asking me a question right now or not. The only way I can see comments is on my phone right now, and I'm using it to just try to pull up these articles real quick. But I will get back to y'all in a second. You got Sean Williams with the bucket there. 76 to 67. Yeah, luckily they made it easy for me in overtime because I was able to tell pretty quickly who won this game. I was freaking out in regulation. I was in full-on scramble mode. That's never fun. But we never missed the deadline. Never missed the deadline the whole season. Even with the Utah Valley one, I don't know how I got that in on time. Honestly, to this day, I don't know how I got that. That's like the one game that like sticks out to me. Is just especially traumatizing. Man, you really wouldn't think it'd be this hard to find an article. Like, just search New Mexico State, Colorado State, and you would think it would just show up. If only life were that simple. If only. I don't know. I think I'm just going to give up. I'll just have to do that beforehand, moving forward. But now it's kind of bothering me that I can't find it. Oh, man. Luckily, the game's already like out of reach now, so I can look this up. We got just 10 seconds left here. New Mexico State is about to come out with the victory. This is actually really annoying that I can't find this. Alright, forget it, whatever. I give up, folks. I found the recap article. I was just trying to see what my score prediction for this game was. But unfortunately, I cannot find it. I don't remember what the headline was. The Aggies are earning a 76-70 win over Colorado State, and they will advance. Oh, we got free throws? Why? Alright, so it wasn't 76-70. Why? Why do we have free throws? Is that really necessary right now? You can see Sean Williams is there laughing like, come on, man. There we go. 77. And one more. Got it. Let's try this again. And the Aggies earn a 78-70 victory over Colorado State. Let's take a quick look at the statistics for this one. So for Colorado State, it was Nico Carvacho with 18 points, 6 boards. Isaiah Stevens was 17 points and 4 dimes. And then David Roddy, big body Roddy, with 11 points and 7 rebounds. For New Mexico State, the leading scorer was none other than Jabari Rice. He had 21 points and 8 boards. 3 for 4 shooting from the three-point line, 7 for 10 from the floor. Really efficient stuff. 19 for Trev with 3 boards and 2 assists. 7 for 17 shooting. So he shot the most shots by far. But, that's to be expected. CJ Bobbitt with 9 points. Johnny also with 9 points off the bench for him. And then Sean Williams, 8 points. Bit of a quiet night for Yvonne, but had to go up against Nico there. He had 6 points and 2 assists on just 1 for 3 shooting. Yeah, let's take a quick look at what the team said after the game. Let me pull that up right now. Alright, so this is from Chris Jans on the strong start. It was definitely the best segment of basketball that we played all year long. It was great to see. We came out of the gates ready to go, and that's kind of what we're used to. For whatever reason, we kind of took our foot off the gas. We could never completely pull away from them. And Jabari Rice, this is on his scoring spree down the stretch. He said the whole time they were just telling me, stay ready, stay locked in. When I got the opportunity, sorry, I was just ready. Shots were going in, and I just tried to feed off my energy. Yes, sir. So there we go, folks. I really want to find out what I predicted for the final score. It's just so annoying that I can't find it right now. I'm going to give one quick look for one last look at this. And if I can't find it, then I'm going to throw my phone out the window. I found next game. Colorado State. We got Denver. Yeah. It's just not meant to be, folks. I did pick New Mexico State winning this game, but for the life of me, I can't seem to find this article. So, oh well. But that is going to do it here for us today. Shout out to everybody who tuned into this to watch it live. I appreciate y'all. Stephen M, 04, NM Aggie. Thank you guys for talking, commentating, just having a good conversation with me throughout the game. Keeping me from being way too bored sitting here for an hour and a half, so I appreciate that. I appreciate anybody who's going back and watching this. It means a lot, guys. We're doing this every single night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for the next month, pretty much. Tomorrow night, we have a game against South Florida, which was the second round, the semifinals of the Cayman Islands Classic. So hopefully you guys will tune in and watch that one with me as well. If you guys want to stay up to date with any New Mexico State news, you can follow me on Twitter at JTheSportsDude, and I'll also be publishing articles, of course, on lcsunnews.com. If you want to see a little bit of high school football coverage, if you're interested in that as well, I'm putting out an article tomorrow, which is going to be a preview of the Centennial High School football team. I've already done one on Mayfield, who's now in 5A, and I've done one on Las Cruces. And then next week will be on Yate. Pretty much I just picked the order depending on whichever coach got back to me first. So that's the order for that. We're doing one of those every Friday, so next Friday will be the on Yate Nights preview. What else is there? If you guys want to watch some more content for Aggies basketball, I went ahead and I've been starting a Stray Shooter web series that's releasing every Wednesday at 11 a.m. here on our channel. We just put one out yesterday with Jabari Rice. It's about 24 minutes of breaking down film, answering fan questions, finding celebrity lookalikes for teammates. It's a bunch of really cool stuff. So make sure you go check that out. And next week, hopefully this upcoming Wednesday, will be an interview with William McNair. We're waiting to get that set up. But I believe that is all that I have to plug, guys. So again, thank you so much. Hopefully everybody is staying safe out there. And I think I'm out of here, guys. It's been Justin Martinez, a.k.a. Jay the Sports Dude. I'm gone.